If I say there is a part of your mind that could kill, it's awake right now, quiet, polite, well-behaved, but it's there. And tonight, I'm going to show you where it hides, Gutens, and how thin the wall really is that keeps it locked. Stay with me. By the end, you'll never say, I could never, the same way again. Picture this. You're walking home alone, late, the street is empty, a streetlight buzzes, footsteps fall in behind you, your heartbeat climbs. And in that moment, something old wakes up. Not fear, something underneath fear. A small, cold thought, what if I turned around? What if I became the thing they're afraid of? Most people never admit they've heard that thought, but almost everyone has. Psychologists have a name for it. They call it the shadow. It's the part of you built from everything you were taught to bury. Anger, the hunger to win, the urge to destroy. You didn't choose to have it. Everyone does. So, the real difference between you and a killer isn't that he has a shadow and you don't. It's that something in him stopped holding it back. We want to believe the worst people were born, broken. It's comforting. It means they're a different species. They're not. Most of them started with the same mind you're using to watch this. So what changed? Usually not one big thing. A slow erosion, a job lost, a marriage gone, a world that stopped making sense. And somewhere in there, one quiet thought takes root. Maybe the rules were never real. That thought is the crack. Everything else flows from it. Here's the part nobody tells you. The line between good and evil isn't a thick stone wall. For a lot of people, it's closer to a coat of paint. It looks solid, it holds for years. But scratch it hard enough in the wrong moment, and you see how thin it always was. We like to think our brains are simply built better than theirs. The harder truth is quieter. The same mind that lets you imagine protecting someone also lets you imagine hurting them. It can rehearse both. It already has. In a nightmare, in a flash of rage, in that half second when someone cuts you off in traffic and a voice says, I could end him. You laugh. You let it go. You drive on. But notice, the thought arrived on its own. You didn't invent it. It was already there. A killer doesn't begin with killing. He begins with a smaller idea. That the rules are optional, that consequences are for other people, that no one is really watching. Once that idea settles in, the wall doesn't fall. It just stops mattering. Do something uncomfortable for a second. Look at your hands. The same hands that can hold a child, steady a friend, build a whole life, are the same hands the worst men in history used. The hardware is identical. Only the story running on it is different. And a story can change faster than you'd ever want to believe. War shows this faster than anything. Ordinary men, teachers, mechanics, fathers. Give them permission. Give them orders. Give them enough fear, and some do things that haunt them for the rest of their lives. But a few make a darker discovery, that they were good at it, that the shadow was never a stranger. It was always home. So, what actually keeps you on this side of the line? It isn't some unbreakable goodness carved into your soul. It's something softer than that. It's a set of stories. Stories about who you are, about right and wrong, about the person you could never become. Good stories, stories worth having, but stories. And stories can be taken by trauma, by isolation, by a cause that whispers, the rules don't apply to you. When they go, the shadow doesn't have to break the door down. It just walks through the one you left open. This is why one person collapses after a single terrible day, and another survives years of hell with their decency intact. It was never only about strength. It's about how thick the paint was to begin with and how carefully they kept it. Now, here's where most people get this completely wrong. Knowing the line is thin isn't a reason to be afraid. It's the reason to respect it, because the people most likely to cross that line are the ones who swear they never could. If you believe the wall is solid stone, you never check it, you never guard it, you stop paying attention. But once you've truly seen how thin it is, you start to protect it. On purpose. Every day. In how you treat people. In the anger you choose not to feed. in the small mercies nobody sees you give. That's not weakness. That's the realist strength.